Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. By the time this goes up, I will be officially 32 whole years old. And I don't feel 32. I don't know if I really had any understanding of what my 30s felt like. I think when you're a kid, 30 feels so old. Like 30-year-olds are old people when you're a kid. Even when you're in high school, 30 feels so far away. And then I got to 30 and I was like, in some ways I feel the youngest I've ever been, and I think a huge part of that is finally feeling a certain amount of freedom in just being yourself. And I think in the last year, in my 31st year, and now going into my 32nd year, that self-actualization process has gone even further. And I'm so grateful once again for you guys all being here and kind of coming along on this journey with me and just tolerating me through the process of really just sinking into my own and myself in these years of my early 30s. And I'm very excited. I don't hate it. There are a few things that suck about being a young woman in your 30s, many of which are biological and therefore quite stressful, but we're not here to talk about that today. That was a long-winded introduction that really has nothing to do with why we are here today. I have, as I mentioned a few videos ago, some new makeup which finally arrived, and yes, this is makeup that I did purchase in February during a supposed no-buy. Was January my no-buy? Ugh. I don't know. I purchased some makeup that I for sure shouldn't have. But you know, we have to find those droplets of happiness in various places. And as I discussed in my last video, I would like to embrace more and more, you know, the beauty aspect of my videos. So sometimes that does mean getting my hands on some new beauty products. And so today, in the vein of something Hannah Louise Poston said not too long ago, and yes, I know I talk so much about Hannah Louise Poston now, I'm sorry, I love her so much. I love her so much. I am doing a first encounter, not a first impression, a first encounter with the one and only M Cosmetics, which I have never, ever tried, hence the first encounter. But their new masterpiece collection dropped a little while ago, and I was genuinely really intrigued. It all looked beautiful. I started to see a couple other people here on YouTube talk about it, and on Valentine's Day, that's how I decided to treat myself. And I only just received it, so it took a very long time to get to me, and you know, we are still kind of in the COVID time warp, so 3.5 weeks feels like eternity. But I was very excited to receive these 3 items from the new masterpiece collection, and we're going to use these 3 products in what I am hoping will be a 5-minute face. So I'm just pulling everything out of the box here. We'll walk through all of the products before I do them so that I can actually time myself doing a 5-minute face. And then we will get right into it. So, ooh, they're just so pretty. I'm so excited. So we'll start with the palette. Ooh, it's so cute. Look at this. Just look, it's just delightful. Fits right in the palm of my hand. I really like this a lot. So this is the Divine Skies eyeshadow palette, and I got the colorway called Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci. And it is just so lovely. And you might be looking at this and being like, Alanna, that is the most basic eyeshadow palette why would you spend your money on that? And it was money. M Cosmetics is not an inexpensive brand, especially when you have to pay in Canadian dollars, plus shipping. So there's that. But it's so beautiful. And I think one of the reasons I was so drawn to this was not just the fact that these eyeshadow palettes consistently receive rave reviews. Everyone speaks so highly of the formula. And, you know, I quite enjoy eyeshadow, but over the last couple of months, you know, as I've been having more and more overnights at my boyfriend's, and I would like to do just a little touch of makeup the next day, I was realizing that I didn't really have a nice little palette of eyeshadow to bring with me if I wanted to do something more than just throw some bronzer across my lids. All of my eyeshadow palettes, with the exception of one, are quite large. These are all the eyeshadow palettes I have. It's not a huge amount. As much as I love the Tati Beauty textured neutrals, this is a giant palette. I'm not lugging this around on a weekend. You know, maybe I should invest in a depotting tool and a magnetic palette so that I can pop out, especially the glitters I just want to take with me everywhere because they're so beautiful. But as a whole, it's really, this is a vanity palette. Maybe a long vacation palette, but it's not a weekend overnight palette. And then there's the Earth and Ocean palette from e.l.f., which, similar to the Tati Beauty, is gorgeous, but it's big and it's not quite neutral enough for a weekend. For waking up on a Sunday and wanting to just look a little bit fresh and not quite dead. There's nothing wrong with throwing on any number of these colors onto the eyelid, but that's just, again, not quite the weekend vibe. And then there's the Jungle Lights, which we just used last week. And again, stunning. Would love to take all of these glitters with me everywhere, always, but just not practical. And then the little teeny tiny palette that I do have, this Quintet from Marcel, which is, again, so pretty, but is all greens and all shimmers. So it doesn't really hit the spot. And it was just this strange realization that I didn't have a beautiful neutrals that could provide an elevated look, but could also just give me something fresh and pretty for a basic weekend day. I have singles, which I love and use consistently, but then I can't choose and I end up with, you know, 7 different singles in my overnight bag, and it's just, it ends up being kind of the same as carrying around one of these big palettes. So anyways, very excited, and I do think that this is going to be a fixture in my weekend setup. It's just, oh, it's so, so pretty. Then I got the Heaven's Glow blush in Rococo, and you guys know me if you've been here for a while. I am pretty much exclusively a cream blush user. The only powder blushes that I have are the Bare Minerals Bronzer and Kiss of Rose. I have an Annabelle blush that I got around to Halloween, which I've used maybe twice. And then I have 2 Alima Pure blushes that I've had for about 5 years, and I use approximately twice a year. But I really was so drawn to this shade. I felt very compelled to pick it up because it's very similar to the Bare Minerals Bronzer. It has that same vibe. It will function on one of those days where I need a quick makeup look, where I don't want to look completely overdone. I just want some color and life to my cheeks. It's got a little bit of glow. It's a great color for me, and so that's what we're going to be using today. And honestly, this may too become a staple in my weekend overnight bag. So we shall see. And the formula, is very soft. The packaging is delightful. It's magnetic. I appreciate that so much. And in this line, we're dealing with kind of like all neutral tones, and it looks very pretty. Like, if I had room, I think I might leave these out on the vanity, but I don't have room. Okay, then last but not least from M, I picked up the Lip Cushion Tinted Lip Luminizer in the shade Van Gogh. And I didn't swatch this. Oof, it was just too pretty. I didn't want to ruin it until this video, so I don't really even know. Oh, it's so creamy, and it's such a beautiful shade. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait to put all of this on my face. Okay. So, the 5-minute face. And I was just talking to my mom about this earlier tonight as I was kind of explaining what I wanted to film. And I know everyone kind of does a 5-minute face, and sometimes it's like, why? For me, most days, doing my makeup is such a delightfully meditative experience. I don't want to be in a rush to do my makeup, but there are nevertheless times when you really do just need to be able to bang out a quick makeup look that doesn't look like crap because, oh gosh, there's myriad reasons. For example, your alarm doesn't go off in the morning because you didn't set it the night before because you were too deeply invested in a smutty book to remember to set your alarm. And you wake up and it's 9:05 a.m. and while you work from home, you have a meeting at 9:30. You haven't showered in several days, and all you've been wearing are sweats. And you really think that you should be looking somewhat reasonable. And you also need to get yourself caffeinated. That is a great example of an instance where you may need to do a 5-minute makeup look. Another example, it's the middle of the day, a work day. And you end up having a complete meltdown because of the state of the world, but specifically and very much a first world problem because of the state of the real estate market and the current impossibility of you purchasing your first home. And because of that meltdown, you ruin the makeup that you put on in the morning in significantly more time than 5 minutes. And yet again, you have a meeting. So you've got to clean up the tear stains and the black mascara dripping down your face and redo your makeup for this meeting. 5 minutes. Bang, bang. I cannot say that I've actually ever accomplished a 5-minute makeup look. Not to say that I haven't accomplished it. I don't think I've ever really tried. I don't know that I've ever really been in that much of a rush. And because I am working from home now, it's really so much less of a priority to look perfectly put together. And when I am going out or going to my boyfriend's house, I give myself a 1.5 hour window, if not more time, to get ready, which includes, at least 30 minutes to have that slow makeup putting on time. But today, because who doesn't need more stress in their lives, I'm going to time myself. And you're probably thinking, well, Alanna, this is so easy. You never do fancy makeup looks anyways. There's no way that you can't do all of that stuff in 5 minutes. And maybe you're very right. I just don't know because I haven't really ever tried. So I'm going to toss my hair back. I'm going to keep my bangs down because it's really not pertinent for a 5-minute face for me to pin them back. I might just lift them at one point and brush some stuff across my forehead. Otherwise, it's just the stars of the show are these 3 products from M Cosmetics. I will quickly show you what else I'm going to be using on my face, and then we're gonna hit that timer. Are you ready for this? I'm not. Okay, so for complexion, As per usual, I am not going to go in with a foundation. I'm going to mix my two Rose Ink concealer shades together. One's a little bit pinky, one's a little bit yellow. I'm in between shades right now, so it is important for me to mix them so that it doesn't look so obvious that I'm wearing mismatched concealers. But I'm going to mix these together, but also mix them in with some of the In Beauty base glaze because I've been doing that this week so far and I like the results. I'm going to be using the NYX brow glue in my brows because it's a 5-minute face and who has the time to do fancy brows. e.l.f. Big Mood on the lashes, and then those 3 M Cosmetics products. I'm not doing a bronzer, we're just going in with the Rococo to give me kind of a blush and bronze, the blondes look, and then I will be finishing things off where I am shiny with my Bite Beauty powder. Okay. I am stressed. All right. 5 minutes is ready and go. I feel like mascara is going to be the thing that takes me the longest. Because it's usually the thing that takes me the longest unless I really mess up something. But who knows? I could be overestimating everything. I could just be purposefully slow during the weekdays because there is no rush. And for complexion, I am definitely experiencing breakouts, but there's just really no point in fussing over too much of it because number one, a lot of it is around my nose, and I have to blow my nose so often during the day. So that is going to, a lot of that attention to detail around my nose, trying to erase those details around my nose will just result in them being all wiped off. So it's just really trying to blank things out a teeny tiny bit. I might just a teeny touch more under the eyes because I am definitely struggling with tiredness. Ah! Oh my god! Okay, we gotta Okay, so I don't think I was overestimating. 5 minutes is really, really hard. Not ideal to be doing this with brand new products that you're not familiar with the formulas. You know what I mean? But you're up for a challenge. Not terrible, not terrible. Okay, well, 5 minutes goes by real fast, especially because I was chatting a little bit too much. I truly don't hate what I've managed to accomplish in 5 minutes. It's a little bit sloppy because I was chatting. There definitely are some things that could be cleaned up. And I don't know whether it's just my skin right now or I don't know, but the Rose Ink Concealer, the last few times that I've tried to use it, has not really been cooperating with my skin exactly the way that I would like it to. It just seems to be sitting a little bit heavier on my skin, which is really unfortunate. And because I want a little bit more color on my cheeks, I am just going to go in with some more of the Rococo, but I do truly like that shade. I just think that I'm feeling a little bit textured because of the complexion stuff and maybe a little bit too bright under the eyes, but I think overall, honestly, I look, I think, finished. The lips are really pretty. I just dabbed. I didn't manage to get any powder on my face, but I also don't think I'm like hideously dewy. Yeah, it's cute. I prefer more mascara than this. This is like 2 very, very light coats, which is one of the reasons why mascara usually does take me quite a bit longer when I'm not in a rush. I like to have more of a chunky, volumized lash look because I don't have really dense natural lashes. So by building them up myself with the mascara, I get the effect that I want. Duh. That's what you do with mascara. But it's pretty. I quite like how this looks. It's going to look different to me, I'm sure, and I'm going to see all kinds of flaws once I edit. But in the viewfinder here, in the mirror here, I'm really not mad about what I was able to accomplish in 5 minutes. And the eyeshadows are very pretty. So the gold is Enigma, the one right up here. I'll give you a proper swatch. It's really, really like so, so pretty. And the one next to it, Portrait, I don't know. Portrait and Enigma. Here's a Portrait and Enigma. Are just beautiful, shiny, silky shadows. And it does just add a little touch of interest. I really like the shadow formula, and I most definitely will be taking this in my weekend bag this weekend. Again, when you see this, I will be 32, but I'm filming this a few days ahead, and I can definitely say with certainty that one or if not all of these products will tie into my birthday celebration look on Friday and Saturday. Because I'm quite happy. I think I went a little too bright on the under eyes. That is partially lighting, partially just me trying to overcorrect my exhaustion, but has nothing to do with M Cosmetics and everything to do with me just being a spaz. Van Gogh is a lovely shade. It is kind of a My Lips but better shade. for me personally. But the formula is super comfortable. Interestingly, and maybe the other shades of this lipstick are slightly different, but it's not as shiny as I was expecting it to be just based on everyone else's reviews. Everyone else always, maybe again, this will look different on camera. I'm just seeing it here and like in a tiny viewfinder, but it always looks much like a much shinier formula when other people use it. And maybe my lips are just super dry, so they just like sucked up all of the shine and moisture really, really fast. Not a complaint whatsoever, just an observation. It's so pretty. Obviously, it is not transfer proof, but with this kind of formula, are you really expecting that? No. I like it. And even with what I'm wearing now, I feel a little bit more done up. I would absolutely sit in on a meeting like this with this face of makeup and just this simple sweater. I would absolutely go on a date with this face of makeup. I would absolutely feel comfortable in this face of makeup on a Sunday morning with my boyfriend's family, you know, just hanging out at home around the kitchen. I could definitely elevate it. I could definitely get it more intense. I could add, you know, more of the darker shades from the palette, make it a little bit more smoky. But as it stands, this is a 5-minute face that I obviously adjusted a little bit afterwards, but a 5-minute face that takes me across genres of activity. And I would just like to give myself a pat on the back for that because I really didn't think I could do it. I almost didn't. I barely did. But with practice, like with any extreme sport, I will get there. And who knows? Maybe I will get there to such an extent that I can add a really gorgeous winged liner one day. I'm not going to say practice makes perfect because there's no such thing as perfect, but, you know, goals. I don't know, I feel like this video was very chaotic. I'm not really sure what I talked about. And I know that I did not really do a very good job of encountering these products for the first time, or maybe I did because I'm a real girl and this is how real girls who are not makeup professionals or beauty influencers encounter new makeup products for the first time. It's just normal and real and a little spazzy and very often a little bit incoherent, but this is a real face. This is 32. This is 32 encountering M Cosmetics for the first time, and it's nice to meet you. Honestly, for a first encounter, I think I encountered something reliable and very pretty that, as I already said, can kind of be taken across, I'm calling them genres, but you know, serve multiple purposes throughout the day. I mean, I don't want to say I could go glam. I mean, maybe I could, but I don't think I can really accomplish glam personally. Again, the whole like, I'm not a real makeup artist kind of thing. I think I could go pretty smoky and sultry with this here Da Vinci. It is indeed a masterpiece, and I'm here for it. Plan to see more of M Cosmetics on my channel. And when I say plan to see more of M Cosmetics, I mean plan to see more of these 3 products, because the experience of having to purchase directly from the M Cosmetics website as a Canadian customer was just not fun. It's so expensive to get stuff shipped here. It has nothing to do with the brand. It has everything to do with importing products from really anywhere and having to pay so much more simply because of the value of our dollar. I mean, that's not to say I never will buy anything from M Cosmetics again. I certainly will, but it will be a while. And also, now that I have this gorgeous little Da Vinci palette, I think that my eyeshadow collection is very complete, and I should not need to indulge in any more eyeshadow purchases for a significant amount of time. I mean, I would really like to get my hands on the new Danessa Myricks Infinite Chrome Flakes just because they're so outrageously pretty, but they're not completely practical for someone who isn't really doing this as her job and stays kind of within this realm for her everyday makeup. So that is more of a wish list item. And otherwise, I mean, the Jungle Lights palette really can serve a similar purpose and, you know, is, again, to quote Hannah Louise Poston, I think the combination of Jungle Lights and the Tati Beauty palette, especially the glitters, is more than useful should I want to dupe the vibes of the Danessa Myricks Infinite Chrome Flakes. So that is that on that. I have nothing left to say. This was really just the crux of this video. Things are still so incredibly heavy in the world, and on top of, you know, world events, there are first world problems that are very real for those of us experiencing it. There's a lot of financial hardships that are still yet to come, and I was not kidding when I said earlier that, you know, that thing about having a meltdown over the housing market situation. It is something that I am currently living through, and it's its own kind of devastation. It really just crushes a person's soul, realizing that the only way you will be able to afford your first home and start that part of your life is to move so far away from everything and everyone that you love. And not just that, but you're also having to move farther away from work, and there's the concern about that jeopardizing your current work situation. And then, you know, if you start to think about having kids and, you know, starting your own family and moving so far away, having to cope with living so far away from your family and those kids not having immediate access to, you know, grandparents and cousins, and just rip my heart out and stomp on it. It's just so, I hate it. I hate it here right now. My therapist is gonna get so mad at me for speaking about things this way. It's just very overwhelming, and I don't hate it here. I am very fortunate to be exactly where I am because there is a roof over my head and there is food on my table, and for now there is gas in my car, and I have everything that I could possibly need. Do I have everything that I could possibly want? No, but who in their right mind does, except for billionaires? That's not even a thing, but I mean, you know, the 1%ers, I'm sure, have access at least to everything that they want. It's been an experience, and it's not over yet. So I don't have much of a capacity to really dig deep on anything too intense right now, and probably for the next little while. Next video, we're going back into The Sims, so, you know, we can engage in some more escapism together, and then we just will play it by ear. We're gonna try to keep things real. That's all I can promise you. All right, guys, I'm gonna shut up. I've completely lost the thread. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by and having this experience. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, I would absolutely love to have you as part of the Land Fam. So please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post, for the most part, once weekly, and I don't think that we have a terrible time here on this channel. I think we do okay. Anyways, that is everything from me today. Guys, I think we did it. We accomplished a 5-minute face. And once again, I'm not mad about it. And without further ado, can you say that at the end of something? I don't think so. And with all of that being said, I am going to sign off, bid you farewell, wish you a wonderful day or evening or whatever point in time you are currently existing in. I hope it is okay, perchance even lovely. And I will see you in the next one. Okay.